We want to ask the question, how should we be teaching about climate change? And Bruce, I'm going to start with you on this. Should climate change be part of the curriculum? You're in the United States at the moment. What happens there at the moment?
So this year has been, the climate change has been coming through the front door like a battering ram, right? 1 in 3 Americans has been impacted by climate change this year, either superstorms or wildfires. And I have an 8-year-old daughter. She reads the headlines. She understands something is wrong. And so it is critical we help explain to our children the science of climate change. Why is it happening? And what do we need to do to solve it so that they, as they become voters and actors in the future, that they are a part of the solution and understand what we need to do to help solve this problem. So education is absolutely critical. I didn't learn about climate change until I went to university. That's too late. We need everyone, including our children in high school or grammar school, to be helping solve this problem today.
Joycelyn, what do you think about this? Because I just want to show one statistic to our viewers. 1 in 5 children in the UK reports nightmares about climate change. I mean, it's a difficult subject to broach, isn't it, with young children, when some of the news around it seems quite scary.
Yeah, and as Bruce says, children they're not hidden. They're not, they read the news, they understand what's going on. And it's actually up to us, the adults, the schools, their parents, to support them on that journey and to be honest with them about what is going on and why it's happening. And I think a huge part of alleviating this anxiety is actually taking action and being able to see adults, their leaders, governments take action and actually sit in their roles of making positive change. That is going to be inspiring and that is going to be empowering. And it is going to take away from this huge amount of fear that there is right now, because that fear is coming, it's stemming a lot from this helplessness and this overwhelm that things aren't going to get better.
Well, one way that children have actually taken action that we've seen around the world is these school strikes, Bruce. I mean, do you approve of those? There are plenty of people here that worry that children shouldn't be missing out on vital education and missing days of school. And if they're going to have their voices heard, why not do it at the weekend?
Well, so one of my most important memories of growing up was, and similarly, a terrifying time during the nuclear disarmament debate in the 1970s and 1980s. One of the most impactful things was going with my church group down to London and Hyde Park and urging the government to address the threat of nuclear war. Having children engaged, to me, was just a critical step of understanding it and also understanding that we can do something about it. So I'm a very big fan of helping, inspiring children to engage in civic engagement so that they can be a part of shaping the future.
And Joycelyn, another quick word from you on that. Do you think children should be allowed time off school to go on marches, or should they be spending time in the classroom? Very briefly.
Yeah, I don't think all education happens in the classroom. You have to get out there. You have to be part of it. You have to know what's going on in politics. That is also learning. That is education for them. And so if that's what it takes to get our leaders to make action and to make children feel like they're part of the solution, then yeah, I think it's well worth the time.
OK, well, Joycelyn Longdon and Bruce Nilles, really good to have you on the show. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here tonight.